Everyone is talking about AI agents and making 10K per month with their agency. However, the agency is actually hitting those numbers. Their tech stack matters very little. My name is Andrew, I'm the senior at Trillet, and I ran an agency to 10K per month using Vapi and Retell. And here are 7 non-AI skills that I learned that helped me reach 10K per month. 1, sales. 2, choosing the correct tech platform. 3, selling before you're building. 4, client communication. 5, niching down. 6, SOPs. And 7, contract writing. These skills are the ones that I learned that helped me reach 10K per month. And today I'm going to show you guys exactly what I did and these skills and how I learned them. Number 1, sales. Every voice AI platform will always have the same technical ability, whether it's producing a voice agent. It obviously does matter a fair bit on which voice agent that you select and which provider that you go with. However, that's not all of it. Sales is a huge part of how you actually get clients. A lot of people will know how to build, right? It's very common to build now, and you can go on YouTube and you can do a variety of things to figure out how to build. The hardest part is actually talking to clients and telling them to give me your money. So I would say sales is one of the biggest issues for any agency. How I overcame sales as a barrier, and what I really did was focus on framing how this gives you a return on your investment and how this is actually valuable to a business. The main thing I did was using a cost calculator. I would first show what the calculator does, which is 1, how many missed calls you get per week. Let's say you get 10. Then I would tell them, hey, you're missing these amount of calls. Each of these bookings or an appointment would cost this much. This is how much money you're missing out because you're not answering the phone. That is the simplest way to show a prospect how much money they are losing out per month. If they do have a logical understanding of their money, then they'll be like, well, that's not really worth it. If your AI is that good, I might be willing to have a look at it. Then that's when you come and say, hey, let me give you a demo. So sales at its core is a very important thing. And the way I overcame sales quite a bit, especially during the start of my agency, was to literally show them numbers and calculate it for them live on the spot to show them that's what you're missing out on. I would also ask them as many questions as I could to make sure that I understood what their business needed and whether the solution was actually suitable for them. Number 2, picking the least tech-heavy platform. So my understanding of a tech-heavy platform is something that you will need to combine many tools with. You need to do light coding, you need to use APIs, you need to do webhooks. From a non-technical perspective, and as a non-technical agency myself, it is very difficult to do so. Things that we did to overcome this barrier was to hire out. We had to hire out to developers. We outsourced developers and we looked for freelancers. This is a terrible idea nowadays because the idea of vibe coding, the idea of being able to build a lot faster is so that you don't need to hire and you can do it yourself. We decided to create an AI builder, which you can create any API call, you can create any webhook, and you can do it all through the native platform itself using just a chat window. Very similar to ChatGPT, very similar to Claude. You'll be able to communicate with any call flow or agent that you'd like within the platform. Now, obviously this did not exist 6 months ago, didn't exist 12 months ago, but now because of how fast the tech is growing, the least tech heavy platform is probably the most important. The reason being is you want to be able to spend none of your time building and all of your time selling. At the end of the day, if I really urgently need to build something, I can hire out someone and build it. But the issue is that if you spend all that time building, who are you going to build for? You don't really have anyone to build for, right? So that's why I think picking the least tech-heavy platform is really important. Disclaimer that making sure that the feature that you need, making sure that the cost is effective is really important. You don't need to spend 6 weeks learning a platform and then not be able to use it because you have 0 clients. That is a really inefficient and ineffective way to run your agency. As I just mentioned, the most important part is selling before you're building. You have to reverse the order, which is why I encourage our Trillet agencies to never learn the platform first. Yes, you'd have to have an understanding of where everything is, and that way, if you do start building, you can build. But I would really encourage our agencies, and any agency that is starting off or looking to scale is obviously trying to sell as much as you can. Build those systems so that you can sell to your clients and prospects and make sure that you can actually get clients for your agency. How else can you pay for tokens? How else can you pay for a subscription if you don't have the clients to bring that revenue in? So at the end of the day, you need to be able to sell. And at Trillet, what we are doing is to provide all the tools that we can for you to get clients, whether that be strategies to get lead generation, whether that be how to run your discovery calls, whether that be how to run your onboarding calls, how to communicate with your leads. Everything is in our school community to make sure that you as an agency, have the ability to get these clients. The school community will be down below. Feel free to join that. It's free, so there's no harm in that as well. Number 4 is client communication. Clients don't tend to leave technology or you because the tech is bad. I would assume that as an agency, you can get a team or you can build tech yourself. The reason why people leave is because you don't communicate with them what's going on. So I would really encourage you to build your touch points when you want to build out your manual reporting or how you want to do it, or give them a client dashboard. At Trillet, obviously we have the dashboards for you. You want to be able to give them a record of everything that's going on so they feel like they're not just being left alone. That is one of the biggest issues I see with agencies, is that, oh, I've got the client, I've built them an agent, let's drop them. That's not how it works, because clients need to feel like they're being taken care of. Likewise with adding on services, it's great to add on services and they will purchase more services off you if you are there to support them. So I would really encourage you guys to build a system out that tells them what's going on, whether that be through any dashboards, whether that be through Slack, however you like to communicate with them, that's important. Likewise with us, we will provide you support. And also with our white label system, your customers can actually report any issues to us directly within your branding, and that way we can resolve all those issues as soon as we can too. Number 5 is niching down. Obviously, when you begin your agency, you want to explore which client and which industry you'll be able to get the most clients from. Once you start getting a lot of clients in, I would really encourage you guys to niche down and be a specialist at one thing. It's really important to be a specialist in one industry than a generalist in everything. At the end of the day, when you go to a specialist doctor, you're going them for a specialist reason. You won't see a GP for a specialist reason, right? So you want to make sure that you niching down when you do hit a tipping point where you can't service everyone. It also becomes very, very unhealthy to start servicing everyone because you don't know and you can't learn the technology of every single platform. That's a very dangerous thing to do. So you're going to get very overwhelmed and you won't know how to overcome certain objections of a software, for example. You don't know all the APIs for that software. So how can you convince someone to go with you if you don't even understand the platform correctly? So once you have a good clientele base and you know which one is really receptive to voice AI, pick an industry and stay with that industry. Whether it be dentists, lawyers, accountants, HVAC, therapy or therapists, pick one and then you'll be able to answer those objections every time. So one thing that you should learn is 100% understanding what industry and what niche to go for. Number 6 is systemizing your operations. Getting to 10K per month is one thing, but obviously you don't want to work those 80-hour weeks, right? That's another huge issue in itself. And when you are running an agency, you will fall into that because obviously it's your business. You want to make sure that anything you do is benefiting the business, right? So what I really encourage you is to document everything. You want to make sure that you're building onboarding forms, you're building dashboards. If you need to do your own clientele dashboard, you want to make sure that everything is recorded so that it is systemized for the future. At the beginning, yes, nothing will really be systemized, and that's okay, but you want to make sure that you have Kanban boards, you want to have documents, whatever it may be that benefits you. If you systemize that, then that's what you can use as a template for all future clients or future prospects. Like every new client should cost you less time than the last one. If not, you're just working a full-time job then. You're not really working for your business and it's not really an agency. It's just a job that you're forced to work in because nothing is recorded. So you need to really systemize everything to make sure that you don't hit a ceiling and then you'll crash. And the last skill that I learned was contract writing. It is extremely important to structure your contracts in a way that benefits you and as well benefit the client. There are certain ways that I will structure it, and obviously these are in the school community that you can access for free. What I would really encourage you to do is to do your research for one on specific country that you're in, as all laws are different. And disclaimer, this is not legal advice. This is what I suggest has worked in the past for me and for my agency. You need to make sure that you have the scope of works that is listed very, very specifically and the deliverables that you will deliver to them. You also want to make sure that you have what is included in the scope and what is not included in the scope so that you and the client have no miscommunication on what will be delivered. There will be no scope creep and there will be no lack of delivery or failed delivery because you guys will both know what is going to get delivered and you make sure that you're understanding of that. Also to have liability limits as well. Voice AI is not perfect and neither is a human. So you can't expect the AI to perform perfectly. You need to set these expectations inside the contract for your client and tell them in advance as well that it's not going to be perfect. We will make it as perfect as possible, but it will still potentially mess up. And that's a normal thing. Another thing that you will need to do is payment terms. You need to structure your payment terms correctly, as well as how you price your service as well, whether that be through retainers, whether that be through setup fees, whether that be through cost. You really need to have a system going and find out what is the best way to structure your pricing for what a client would like to see. Another thing that I encourage you to do is to do 50-50 setup fees if you need. So that means a 50% deposit and a 50% upon completion as well. That way, you know that the client will stay with you as they've put a deposit down if you're doing a setup fee, and that you'll also only get that fee if you deliver correctly and at the deliverables of what that is in the contract. So those are my recommendations for contract writing. And yeah, those are my 7 non-AI skills that I learned over the course of my agency when I ran it to 10K. And I want to share these skills with you guys as I think they're really, really important on how to build a successful agency. Yes, AI matters. Yes, the tech stack matters. However, there are so many other factors that come into play when you're running an agency, especially for the first time users who are non-technical. It is definitely very easy to overcompensate on the tech side because you think that, well, I'm non-technical. We have AI that can build all your agents for you. We have support teams, we have school communities, we have education to teach you on what to do best. So those are my 7 skills. If you enjoyed this video, please like the video, please give it a comment and also subscribe. I would really appreciate it as I can start creating more content as we go. I appreciate anyone who views these videos and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks.